In today's video, we're gonna bring a recap of a rom-com Korean show. Tae-moo is forced to go on a series of blind dates by his grandpa against his will. He instead decides to make up a deal with Ha-ri, pretending to be someone else to set up a series of fake dates to keep his gramps off his back. Tae-moo suspects that there is something that Ha-ri is hiding, and he starts to look for the truth. Tae-moo starts to think that he might have feelings for Ha-ri, but tries to convince himself otherwise. The next day, Tae-moo talks to Ha-ri and tells her that he knows about her true identity. The next day though, Ha-ri ignores Tae-moo the whole day and avoids getting back in touch with him. However, since they work in the same office, they are meant to meet in some way or the other. He texts her to meet him after work. Tae-moo realizes that he has feelings for Ha-ri and practices telling her the same. At the next dinner with Chem and Kang, he's looking forward to meeting her, but she hands him her resignation letter instead. She thinks that Tae-moo is mad at her for lying, however, asks for a chance to stay at the company. This makes Tae-moo realize that she was not romantically interested in him, so he does not open up as well. The next week, Tae-moo decides not to fire Ha-ri, so rips that resignation letter. On the contrary, he decides to give this a shot instead. He says that they need to work on a secret project and takes her to a movie instead. Things seem to be going well, and while reclining the chair for Ha-ri, the duo almost kiss. Ha-ri runs to the bathroom, and as she's coming back, she bumps into some co-workers. She hides Tae-moo, who has to crawl out to exit, so the plan fails. But Tae-moo doesn't give up. He also takes her on a fake business trip, where they spend the day at the beach and eat at a food truck. He asks questions about her life and listens very carefully. Ha-ri is sort of impressed by the same. While they are going back, it starts to rain, but it gives some traumatic flashbacks to Tae-moo. He's reminded of his parents' crash, so he can't think straight. He asks Ha-ri to get out of the car because he needs some time. She decides to go to a nearby hotel during that time, only to find out that her crush's shooting is going on in the same hotel. Her friends start to ask about Ha-ri's boyfriend, and since Tae-moo is back to senses, he goes on to pick her up. When he learns about the conversation, he introduces himself as Ha-ri's boyfriend. Ha-ri and Tae-moo act like a perfect couple at dinner with friends and Min-woo. When asked how Tae-moo fell for her, he said he just looked at her and knew that she was the one. The couple had to sleep in the same room so that they don't raise suspicion. The next day, Tae-moo and Min-woo have a bit of a stare-off. They are jealous of each other because neither of them is an actual boyfriend of Ha-ri. Tae-moo had plans, but he reschedules them just so he can spend more time with her. Min-woo takes Tae-moo to the side and says why he is stuck on dating Ha-ri when he can date anyone else. This makes Tae-moo even angrier and asks him not to judge his girlfriend. The friends decide to go fishing, and since competition has started between Tae-moo and Min-woo, they both spend hours to get a catch, but neither succeeds. They still carry on until Ha-ri faints due to exhaustion and is rushed to the hospital. However, Ha-ri apologizes to Tae-moo, saying that he wasted his time on her. But this makes Tae-moo give up, and he expresses his real feelings to her. He proposes, but she doesn't give an answer yet. She thinks that she might not be the right choice for someone like Tae-moo, so she does not give an answer for quite a while. This makes Tae-moo desperate, and he assigns someone from Ha-ri's team to work on a commercial with Min-woo. However, that co-worker doesn't show up, and Ha-ri has to work on the project instead. Tae-moo notices Min-woo and Ha-ri working together, and this makes him jealous. When Ha-ri notices Tae-moo, she gets nervous and spills something on her clothes. He has to get to the bathroom and change clothes, and Tae-moo waits for her outside. He tries to talk to her, but since Chem and Kang is coming, he holds her hand and runs. Ha-ri says that she is scared of others' opinions, and what would someone like Chem and Kang think of them? Tae-moo assures her that he is positive about their venture and that no one else's opinion matters. This makes things go sweetly, and the episode ends with Ha-ri leaning toward Tae-moo to kiss him. While they are going back home, Hari says that the kiss did not mean anything and it was just a mistake. Tae-moo decides to use this as an excuse to hang out with her. He says that she needs to repay him and take him to dinner. Hari agrees. However, Tae-moo picks a very expensive restaurant, and since the food came in so many courses, each dish made Hari anxious, realizing she won't be able to pay for all of it. Tae-moo ends up paying for it instead, saying that she owes him more now. A few days later, Tae-moo asks Hari to go to a fair with him. They have fun there, eating corn dogs and talking about family, and Tae-moo admires how Hari listens to everything he says. He opens up about the tragic loss of his parents and she listens with care, and this makes him admire Hari even more. This is when Hari gets a call that her father has appendicitis and the hospital does not have a room. Tae-moo helps in the situation and arranges a VIP room for the treatment. Min-woo, on the other hand, is at home with Hari's brother. He accidentally cuts his hand and goes to Hari's room for a bandage. This is when he finds the contract between Hari fake dating Tae-moo and rushes to the hospital in anger. He punches Tae-moo, but Hari breaks the fight. Since there were policemen nearby, she asked Tae-moo to go back home and takes Min-woo with him. She tells him that he has nothing to do with whatever goes on in her life. She even asks him to make a proper apology. He asks if she likes Tae-moo and says that it will never work out between them. Hari leaves angrily after hearing this. Tae-moo does not respond to any text that Hari sends. This makes her anxious. It gets impossible to reach him until she sees an opportunity. The company is managing a dodgeball event and the winning team will get to have a dinner night with Tae-moo. Of course, Hari would participate in it. She goes on to win the match despite being hurt, but it only makes her day worse when Tae-moo can't make it because of a blind date. She calls him and asks Tae-moo not to go forward with the date. She says that she wants to stop thinking about other people and wants to do what is best for both of them. As they decide to meet up, they both get stuck in traffic. They run to make it towards each other and finally kiss on a beach. Hari and Tae-moo start to date, but for obvious reasons, they find it very hard to keep their relationship a secret. Following days, Min-woo and Hari talk about what happened and he apologizes for his over-the-top behavior. Hari forgives him as well. Tae-moo and Hari have to disguise their normal meetups in the form of work stuff as well. They go on a date but call it a company dinner instead. However, Chairman Kang is not impressed by Hari, and when he runs into her while going to the washroom, he shuts her down by saying how she is always at the wrong place at the wrong time. She has to write an apology letter to the chairman for the same. Tae-moo decides to take Hari's team for dinner that night, thinking that it will give them another excuse to hang out together. Everyone's awkward at first, but Tae-moo breaks the ice by taking shots with the team. They all start to have a good time. When one team member ducks inside the table to pick something, she sees Tae-moo and Hari holding hands. When she tells everyone about it, they shake her off, saying she is drunk. The team members start going home eventually until Tae-moo and Hari are left. However, Chairman Kang is going through nearby and catches a glimpse of the two sitting together in a restaurant. Chairman Kang asks the couple why they were hanging out together. Luckily, one of the co-workers had forgotten her phone at the restaurant, so they all get back there and explain to the chairman about the team dinner. Young-seo and Seung-hoon decide to work out their differences, and they decide to date as well. To celebrate the union of this couple, all four, Tae-moo, Hari, Young-seo and Seung-hoon, go on a double date at Hari's place since no one is at home. This is when Tae-moo spills soda on his shirt and Hari takes him to her room to go get changed. This is when Hari's parents come back. She pushes Tae-moo inside and covers up for Young-seo and Seung-hoon. They decide to sneak Tae-moo out so that the parents don't notice anything unusual, but Hari's brother catches them in the act. The couple decides to tell him the truth and he instantly approves of Tae-moo as Hari's boyfriend. He further promises that he will keep it a secret. Yoo-ra invites Hari to dinner but asks her to go out of Tae-moo's life instead. She mentions that Tae-moo has cheated on women and this piece of conversation is also overheard by Min-woo. However, Hari decides to ignore the conversation and decides to go on another date with Tae-moo, as she calls him. It is raining, and we know how traumatizing rain is for Tae-moo. Hari also realizes the same, and she helps keeping Tae-moo calm. By the end of the date, Tae-moo drops Hari off, as she has to go secretly meet Chairman Kang. As Tae-moo drives off, he gets a call from Seong-hoon about where Hari is going. He immediately makes a sharp turn and gets into an accident. On the other hand, Chairman Kang is in the midst of asking Hari to quit seeing Tae-moo. During the conversation, Chairman Kang gets a call about Tae-moo's accident. Hari decides to tell the truth to Chairman Kang. He thrashes her and asks her to quit pursuing the relationship. He then leaves to go to the hospital, but finds Hari there as well. This makes him lose his cool, and he yells at her. Tae-moo walks out of the hospital with a plaster on his arm. He tells his grandfather that he loves Hari and that plans on dating her. He threatens Chairman Kang that he won't give him grandchildren if it comes to dating anyone else as he wanted. The chairman is upset about Hari and her lies, but Tae-moo takes all the blames. Hari had left the two alone and was going home, but comes back when it starts to rain. Tae-moo says that it reminds him of his parents whenever it rains, since it causes his parents' accident. They were rushing to pick young Tae-moo up because they wanted to take him to an amusement park. He says that he still thinks his parents resent him for causing the accident, but Hari convinces him otherwise. She says that his parents love him no matter what, just like he loves her. Hari's commercial brings her negative feedback, thanks to Yura's comment. She says that Hari had a crush on Min-woo, but now she is dating her company's president. This reaches Chairman Kang as well, and he directs the termination of Hari's food project. The whole company goes against Hari, but her team defends her throughout. Chairman Kang asks Tae-moo to leave for America and spend 2 years there, but he protests and says that he wants to marry Hari instead. Before that, Chairman Kang had even asked Hari to resign from the company, but she denied it. She was asked to move from the office as well. This makes things hard for her, and she leaves all alone for a long walk. Chairman Kang insists that Tae-moo should leave as well, as he thinks he needs time to process everything. But he denies it as well and sets to find Hari instead. He goes to her parents and accidentally calls them mother and father, which confuses them. Hamin explains that he is the president of Go Food and Hari's boyfriend as well. Hari finally decides to talk to Tae-moo and returns his calls. They meet at Seoul Tower, where Tae-moo asks Hari to never disappear again. They end up getting a room and start to undress each other. Since Tae-moo drops off Hari the next morning, Hari's mother scolds both of them. Soon after, they all go to celebrate Young-seo's birthday. Tae-moo announces that he wants to date and marry Hari. However, her parents are worried because of differences in their social status. Tae-moo convinces them that he will take care of her no matter what. Hari and Min-woo also make up for the differences as the latter apologizes. Min-woo even goes on to say that he wants to remain friends with her. However, she says that it can take time. Tae-moo gets a call that Chairman Kang is in serious condition and he should rush to the hospital. But the call doesn't disconnect and he hears the chairman laughing in the background. Realizing that it just might be a setup, he sends Hari instead, since they both want the chairman to like her. She decides to spend some time with him, but he doesn't let her come inside at first. However, they still end up spending quality time together, and by the end of it, the chairman also becomes fond of Hari, even though he doesn't show it. She brings him tea, and they sing and have a good time all together. However, the doctor says that it is only for the good that he came to the hospital, since the chairman does have a serious heart condition, and for that, Tae-moo has to leave for America to get treatment. Tae-moo and Hari decide that they will not break up, and Hari rejects the idea of going with them. They decide to opt for a long-distance relationship. Fast forward 1 year, and Tae-moo is still in the States, since the treatment is still going on. Hari and Taemu are talking on a video call, but he has to cut the call abruptly because of some work. Hari, on the other hand, is unhappy because she's reading an article about Taemu's love affair in New York. She decides to talk to Taemu about it in person, so she goes to the States during vacation. When she's at the airport, finds that Taemu has also returned as a surprise. He assures Hari that all the rumors are fake. He goes on to say that Chairman Kang asked Taemu not to come back without giving Hari that box. As she opens it, they find a ring, and he proposes to Hari. She accepts the proposal, and both of them kiss. We hope you enjoyed this rom-com Korean recap. If you did, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. This will help us bring you more content like this. Comment down below which Korean show recap you want us to do next. See you next time.